So we are on the first official podcast vlog episode for my YouTube channel. The reason, firstly, let's introduce myself. I'm Chris Harris, if you don't know. I'm co-founder of Go Nutrition, hybrid athlete, mountaineer, adventurer, ultra marathon runner. I just like doing cool shit ultimately, and finding where limits are. So yeah, I was sort of starting to do this vlog podcast purely to, one, hold myself accountable to make sure I'm actually filming some stuff every week for the track record, to look back in the future and see how far I've come, all the improvements I've made, etc, etc. The other thing that I've found, because I've been starting to do a little bit of stuff on Instagram and stuff like that, I've done a couple of podcasts, been on a couple of other podcasts, and I find that when I say something on camera, it is much more likely to happen. So I figured if I start filming a weekly vlog and I say something on camera, then I've kind of got to go make it happen. So that's probably the big one for me as to why I'm doing a weekly vlog. So yeah, each week we're just gonna talk about a little bit about training, events, adventures, whatever might be coming up. Also a little bit about business, Go Nutrition in particular. And yeah, if we can have a chat with some other people at some point, definitely will, but for the time being it's purely to improve my skills and hold me accountable. So that's my only objective right now, which at the moment my speaking to camera is very poor. As you'll probably notice, I'm going to say about 500 times. So we're going to fix that and all the other stuff that I do wrong over the next 12 months hopefully, and by that time I'll hopefully be a whiz on camera and fully accountable to whoever watches this. So thank you. So firstly, UTA is my next big thing coming up, which is about 4.5 weeks out, maybe something like that. 100 miles, 6,500 meters of vert. It is gonna be hectic, and I'm a little bit concerned what I've got myself into. However, you know, you gotta do these things. So it will be my first miler. I've done a few 100s now, 100 Ks, which have been pretty enjoyable. I find the 100 kilometer now, the last 100K I did was quite enjoyable because it's sort of, you wrapped up by dinner time. Well, should have been wrapped up by dinner time on the last one, but we've got a 2.5 hour delay due to weather. That Kosciuszko 100 there, but it's like an honest day's work for 100K for me now, which makes 100K quite nice. But the miler is going to be stepping into that next category, and it's gonna be an ugly night, I think, but with an awesome support crew, some good training, I think we're gonna kick ass out there and hopefully finish in under 24 hours. We'll see how we go. So training for that, obviously lots of running. Been a little bit behind on the training block to where I wanted to be. I was down in Antarctica at the start of the year, climbing Vincent Massive, and we had a whole heap of weather delays, so that caused me to be stuck in Antarctica for an extra 2 weeks, which was not only the ripple effect of 2 weeks starting later on the training block, but it was also an extra 2 weeks of losing fitness. So essentially it's probably put me 4 weeks behind where I wanted to be, which is not ideal. However, we cracked 95K last week, about 1,800 meters of vert. this week we're going for 105k, probably a bit over that 2,000 meters of vert, maybe jump up into that 2,500 meters of vert this week. And the following week we're gonna go for a 115 to 120k week and hopefully hit that 3,000 meters of vert. Been doing quite a bit of speed workouts, which is definitely improving the speed quite a bit, so quite happy about that at the moment. Definitely got some faster legs on me, which is going to make it easier on race day. However, at the end of the day, in a miler, it's all about the long game, so speed will only help me so much. It's the endurance that's going to come through in the end. So yeah, definitely looking forward to UTA. A little bit concerned, but I know I'm going to get it done one way or another, unless something major happens out there. So, and that's sort of my philosophy, I guess, when it comes to racing. If I'm having a really good day, I'm going to go as hard as I can. If I'm having a bad day, well, my only objective is to finish no matter what. So just keep on chugging away. Then 2 weeks after UTA, jumping on a plane, heading over to America. Gonna hopefully climb Denali. Everything depends on weather and mountain conditions and a whole bunch of other things, but the plan is to climb Denali and also maybe Mount Whitney or Mount Rainier at the same time, just depending on how things work out. So spent a couple of hours last night with on the phone to my expedition partner on that one, doing permits and that for Denali. Looking at flights, getting all that stuff sorted. We've got to book our flights into base camp, all the other logistical stuff. We're going to be on Denali for 14 days, so we're probably going to need about 18 days worth of food, I would say, just in case we do get stuck up there. So all that kind of stuff takes quite a bit of planning. All the gear that we need to pack, potentially buy any new gear that we might need. Yeah, so there's quite a bit of time over the next couple of weeks involved in planning that. But that's fun. Like it's work, but it's fun. It's stuff that I enjoy doing. So definitely gonna have fun over the next couple of weeks getting that all organised, and yeah, then just be waiting for the day to jump on the plane and head on over and get up there in the mountains. But aside from that, Go Nutrition, we are starting to build a little bit of momentum slowly. It is a hard slog. But when I started Go Nutrition, I was not expecting it to be quite as hard. That's the honest truth. Trying to build trust with people, sell supplements, something that people are putting into their body daily, is hard. So doing a lot of things to work on that. I think it's just a slow game that we're chugging away at. We are building some momentum, like I say, which is really nice to see. And we're here for the long game. So if it takes 1 year, 2 years, 5 years to build some momentum, well, that's what it takes, and that's what we're here for. So yeah, we'll do whatever we need to make it happen in the long run. That's the aim of the game, is to build a long-term brand that not only allows us to do the things that we want to do, but also helps athletes that are involved do the things they want to do. But most importantly, just helps the customer perform better on their everyday workouts and on their own adventures or events. So yeah, definitely been hard to build that traction. However, it's starting to happen, and yeah, we just released the other week athlete program, so we're currently looking for six athletes to sponsor that are doing cool stuff, can help us promote the brand, create some content, all that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely excited to start seeing that roll out. We've had, I think, about 120, 125 applicants so far, which over the space of 2 weeks is pretty good. We're obviously going to push for a lot more over the next couple of weeks. However, we're going to announce our first 2 athletes on the back end of this week. So we're just going through the 125 applicants so far. We've shortlisted it down to 8, and we've just gone for those last 8 now, and gonna pick 2 by the end of this week. So that's exciting. What else we got going on? We did our first event, first taste testing event at a gym on the weekend, which was a really good, eye-opening experience. Just shows community involvement does pay off, and we need to be far more active in it. Probably the reason I'm not so active is pure, not scared, but just getting out of the comfort zone to go and do those things. Yeah, I think once I've done a couple, I think the energy is going to be coming to life in those events. So I'm definitely keen for the future of those, and all the other stuff we do. So we're also reaching out to some marathon, like some race directors and that at the moment, to try to get some sponsorship on the side of marathons, fun runs, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully over the next 6-12 months, we'll start seeing Go Nutrition around a lot. Yeah, that's the main aim of the game at the moment, is just get ourselves out there as much as possible. We've sunk quite a bit of money into advertising over the last couple of months, and it just hasn't done anything for us. So now we're just doing it the old-fashioned way, getting on the phone, sending messages, getting out there, just getting it done however we need to. And content is a huge part of that, so that's why I just also got to churn the content, so hold myself accountable on these weekly vlogs and starting to just film more and more of my everyday life is probably a key part. How I use supplements, how I train, all that sort of stuff. I want to really start showing everyone. I think for me, I just think it's everyday life, so it's not that exciting, but I think it can definitely help a lot of people. So yeah, definitely keen to share that and help people as much as possible to achieve their goals, whether it's getting fit from word go, or if you're already a machine, just taking it to that next level. On that, if you are starting out in your fitness journey and you're looking for some advice, I would say a couple of things to get you going straight away. One, swap out some time watching Netflix or whatever you do to watching a couple of educational videos on how to train, when to train, a little bit of basic nutrition stuff. It's amazing how many people don't know basic nutrition stuff, like how much protein to eat in a day, when to eat high protein, when you can sneak some carbs in, what sort of carbs is probably the main one. You can eat carbs whenever, but however, if you're going to eat those not so good carbs, timing and all that on that, you can go learn all that stuff pretty quickly on YouTube. So I would say definitely jump on, watch some stuff, learn some stuff. That's going to help you massively. The other thing I'd say, swap out whatever you're drinking for water straight away. The best thing you can do is just get that water running through your body. Aim for whatever you need in your day. For me, I drink probably 4 to 6 litres a day, sometimes more if I'm doing long runs and that. yeah, work out what your body needs and make sure it's getting that amount of water. And then training, finding someone to train with or being accountable yourself. For me, to start with, I needed a PT to hold me accountable to training. Now I've got no problem training, especially strength. I literally want to go into the gym all the time, so that's not an issue at all for me. Running a little bit sometimes, don't want to do the hard workouts, so having a run coach definitely helps me in that sense. So if you can find someone that's going to give you, one, some advice, two, set out some workouts or whatever for you, and then three, most importantly, hold you accountable when you don't want to do the hard stuff. Having someone there that's going to be like, you've got to do it, will definitely help. So yeah, drink water, find someone to hold you accountable, and just go spend some time learning some stuff, especially around nutrition and eating. Just knowing how many calories you can eat in a day, the different types of, like, just learning or starting to look at calories is probably the big one. You can eat calories quite easily, but at the same time you can also eat a lot of food if you're eating the right food. So go do some learning on that. Other than that, that's about it for the week, I think. Sorry for saying so much. But yeah, this is my longest ever recording in a singular video, other than a podcast with someone else winding me up and asking questions and whatnot. So I'm pretty happy to get to the 17-minute mark and still have something to say, because normally I'm just happy doing my thing and I don't really need to talk too much about stuff. But yeah, like I say, I need to start talking more about stuff. I want to help you guys out, and yeah, hold myself accountable to the things I say on camera, and look back in a year and be like, wow, that was me on camera, look at me now. So definitely I've got a few objectives with this, but yeah, thanks for watching, see you next week.